Good morning, my friends. I hope everyone's having a great day. I'm sitting here waiting for Brady. So good. Waiting for Brady to stop using the bathroom. It's so cold. I was gonna sit outside, but I'm like, oh, it's so cold. I don't have um my sweater, or like I have Mike's hoodie, but it's so far somewhere in the living room closet. I don't feel like finding it. And I can't use his work hoodie, which is right in the inner side, because when I film a vlog, I can't show you guys where he works. Let me see if he's done. Come on. Come on, Bray. No, let's go. It's cold. Started turning around. I have a couple kids that are sleeping, and I just wanted to hurry up and film a vlog while they're not down here. Um, 'Cause everyone's asleep still. That's that. Um, you can go sit in there. I have to make my coffee before we start chit chatting. I don't have my selfie stick. I'm gonna sit you on a bag of cereal. Okay, hold on. Let me get my coffee. I thought we were out of creamer. I was going to be like, no. This is the cheap Food Lion brand creamer. You know, sometimes you just don't have enough money and you have to do store brand stuff. I brewed my coffee and then realized I didn't have enough water in the tank. So now I got to put it back into the Keurig. 6 ounces might be too much. Anyway, I hope everyone's having a great day. I hate this. I got out of the shower last night. Every time I get out of the shower, my hair, because I straighten it. This is like my hair in its natural straights and the natural state, other than the fact that it needs to be brushed. But it has these weird curls all through it. So that's why my bun's looking a little wonky today. Yeah, that's a little bit too much coffee. Now, because I brewed half of a 12, I drink 12 ounces. Now that I brewed half of a 12 ounce, and then I put 6 ounce, for some reason it seems to be too much. All right. So I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. My homelessness for Christmas review is on members only. It's going to stay there. I think it's because I don't want my kids to see it again. Popcorn is very vile to my kids. She said really gross things about each of them. And I'm just like, what is this going to serve on my channel again? Not that I really give a shit that they know that I talk about them. Uh, but I add a lot of different things to the homelessness for Christmas video. We're only 20 minutes in, and the first view is 2 hours long. Well, let me turn my kitchen light out. We're in the craft room. All right. Let's put this on. There we go. Good morning. Good morning to all my friends. My selfie stick's on its last leg. I'm getting ready to buy a new one. Mike got paid today, so I'll look at new selfie sticks. Yeah, so I talk about other content creators, not in a nasty way, just they're part of the story. And so I just thought that it was best to keep that off my channel. I just thought that the Homelessness for Christmas review, it doesn't add anything of value to my normal subscribers, because my subscribers, they know what happened. They just want to see me succeed and move on. And that's what I'm doing. But because I'm reviewing some of these old videos, it coincides. And I was even talking with Mike. I was like, I want to minimize the amount of times I talk about popcorn on my channel. And but you can't not talk about her when you talk about that video. It's really hard. So I made a decision to put it behind members only. And thank you for the ones that joined. Like I said, this isn't a cash grab. It's not for me to get money. It's just I don't want the crap on my channel. Popcorn's very mean to kids. She's harmful. She says gross stuff to little kids. I don't want that back on my channel. It's already, if you want to go see it, you can see the original video on my channel, still, the Homelessness for Christmas. But this review I talk 30 minutes before I even start reviewing because I'm talking about other information. You know, I talk about my thoughts and feelings on a lot of other people and a lot of other things. And because of that, my video is 2 hours long, but I only reviewed 20 minutes of the video. I can't imagine what else I'm going to say in twos and threes. Part twos and threes. I'm going to see it through, but my kids, it's gonna be on my channel or it's gonna be in my members only. My son just scared my daughter. It's gonna be on my members only, and you know, you can sign up or you don't have to. Mike and I decided it was just for our protection. It is to keep our subscribers from having to go through this shit again. It's to keep our kids from having to listen to it again. Just to protect us. And, you know, my family means more than me than anything. And protecting my family is important. So you have to pay. Sorry. I hate to do that. I hate to do that. You guys know I share my entire life free for the public to watch. Sorry, my daughter came in and was telling me Mike has to go to the grocery store on his way home or put an order in. She wants pizza bagels. So anyway, yeah, like I said, it's nothing. I hate to charge people, but it's just to protect my family. So the things that I say in the video, it's just to protect my family. I hope everyone's doing great. I really hope you all are doing wonderful. My epoxy allergy is getting better because my eczema cream I find is helping this heal. I have a little bit of dry skin on my eyelids, as you see, from the epoxy, and then my lips are like chapped and red. It's just a drawback. I have customers tumblers. Hold on. It's my daughter. You just slid down the steps on your butt. You okay? Okay. Oh, he's over there on the blankets. So these are all my customer tumblers, and they're going to be cleaned and packaged soon, and Mike will be mailing them out.
I remember we used to have two mattresses because our stairs at Calmar were very long.
Uh-huh.
We would have to put two of our mattresses, so we take two mattresses, we put them on the thing, and then we slide down. We had ball pits. You remember we had ball pits and we slide down the stairs with ball pits?
We did slide down the stairs with ball pits at our old house.
Yeah, that was not very safe because we had a wall, like there's a closet, whatever. Like, you know, there was like, you know, at Calmar, there was like a step. It was kind of like...
Yeah, there was a closet on the other side, and there was a wall right there.
Yeah, that's what it was. There was a wall, so when you slide down the stairs, you would almost hit our heads on the wall.
Yeah.
We had to put stuffed animals in there.
Yes. My daughter came down and she slid down on her butt, like, and then so she was remembering when we had this townhouse on Kelmore Road. It's on the ABC streets. Crazy things. A barricade situation just happened one street over on Lark Hall, and it's one street over from where we lived. But we left that townhome so I could move into my dad's after his accident when the courts granted me guardianship of the property so that we could be kind of like groundskeepers. Like Mike mowed my dad's lawn so he wouldn't get a fine, you know, kept up with watering his flowers, his plants out back. He had tomato plants, and my dad gardened, did peppers, tomatoes, all the things, and he had them all in his backyard. So Mike and I kept up with all of that because we thought he was coming back home. And until we found out his diagnosis, we thought, oh, he's just recovering from some broken bones. And a lot of my videos that I talk about my dad and stuff, you'll know that I've said that I was kept from knowing his medical information. I wasn't allowed to know for like 2 months that he had diffuse axonal injury and subarachnoid hemorrhage and stuff. My aunt refused to tell me, and she made sure the hospital couldn't legally tell me. She kept me legally off of every document, rewrote her own documents, and then I wasn't allowed to even know if my dad was going to die. It was like I just had to wake up every day calling the hospital or physically going up there to make sure he was still alive. Because if he were to die, I wasn't legally allowed to know because my aunt made sure that the hospital couldn't, because of HIPAA, made sure that I wasn't allowed to know anything about him. Imagine going through life not knowing if your dad even has his injuries are even sustainable, like that he's even going to live after his injuries. So, I mean, it's crazy. Anyway, we left that home, but when we lived at Kelmore, we One time when the kids were little, and Mike was there, they were overseeing it, so no one would crack their head. But we took the kids' mattresses and we put them down the stairs, and it took two twin mattresses, and we would just create a slide almost, you know what I mean? Like, so we took the steps and turned it into like a flat slide by the mattresses so the kids could go. Mike and I slid down the stairs like two 20-some-year-old adults. I wasn't as big as I am now, but I was like 180 pounds at the time because of the phentermine I was taking. But we would zip and zoom down the stairs all day long, and we'd have a bunch of stuffed animals. So when they ran, like fell, like slid down, they didn't hit the wall. So that's why my daughter's like, remember the time that we had all of those stuffed animals and we slid down the steps on our mattresses? We had fun time. Fun time. Mike and I are like children, and our kids grew up with two toddler parents. So we slid downstairs. Most parents would tell you, no, you're not sliding down my stairs. No, Mike and I decided to teach them how to put the mattresses down the stairs and slide down them. So the kids had a fun childhood. Despite what anyone thinks, they had a fun childhood, and they clearly still think about it and think it's funny. And it was fun. It was fun. Come on. I think it's a new generation of millennial parenting. Millennial parenting, I find that a lot of millennial parents will, you know, how like some of our parents and then even the generation of like that's older than my mom, like Graham's generation, when you did something wrong, you were out late, or you know, you weren't, your grades were down, you got yelled at, you got punished, you know, something happened to you. But I find that millennial parents are starting to be like, what's going on, like mental health. I think a lot of the millennial parents are more in tune with mental health. And so if one of my kids grades are dropping or slipping, I don't go, you're punished, you got all C's this semester, you're punished. I would sit and talk to them and be like, is there something going on in your life? What's happening? I know that you're smarter than this. I know you can do this. And then, you know, I kind of, I don't want to say I reward them for bad behavior, but they'll tell me what's wrong. And then I'll be like, well, why don't you take a day from school, reset your mental health? What do you want? Like, if it's, say it's my daughter, but like, let's go get some face masks. Let's watch a Gilmore Girls marathon, eat junk food, and just reset your mental health. Get off your phone, get off of the TikToks, the Snapchats, get off of all of that, and let's hang out together, or let's go to the mall, or you know, do you want to bring one of your friends over? My kids, because I don't talk about it because they're not my focal point, my kids have friends that do come over here, and if it's a day that they're over here, I either just don't vlog, or I vlog when they leave or before they come over here. But my kids have had some people come over here and hang out before, or sit on the porch, or they walk around the neighborhood with their friends and stuff. But I just I don't know, I guess it's a millennial way of parenting. I don't punish them immediately. I get to the root of the problem and I let them talk to me. I let them tell me why they did what they did. And I try to get in with them and figure out so we can solve it together as a family or one on one. And, you know, they know that like whatever's going on with my kids, if they don't want Mike to know, I don't tell Mike. And whatever's going on and they tell Mike and they're like, please don't tell mom, Mike doesn't tell me. And we hide things about our kids from each other because we want them to have confidentiality, and we trust that the parent that knows the information is handling it. If it gets to be too big and the parent can't, that's different, and the kids know that. But it just, the way that we parent our kids, it's like they're kids, yes, but, and I'm not trying to say that they're grown-ups or adults. We just, we let them make their choices, their own life choices. Like I said before, we oversee it to make sure it's safe to make those choices, but we're kind of friends. We're parents, but we're friends, and that line gets blurred sometimes with our kids. But they, I think that the way we're raising them is great. But I find like I go on TikTok and a lot of other parents are talking about how they parent their kids, and I'm just like, wow, like, so it's not a me thing. I think it's a millennial thing. I think millennials, um, you know, I'm not an elder millennial. I'm more in the younger millennial. I was born in 91. I think it's just the way that we parent because we went through so much as kids, depression, you know, emo things, self-harm, gothicness. I mean, there's a reason I went gothic. That was a phase because of stuff that happened to me. And it's not that I was scared to talk to my mom or open up. It's just the way that her generation parents, it's like none of us felt comfortable going to our parents. I have a whole group of friends who, when we were all gothic, we're like, our mom will never understand. But like when my daughter's going through stuff, she comes to me no matter what, because she knows, oh, mom will understand because she's, did this, or, mom was, going through this. And I've told them that I've self harmed as a teenager. And like, so I'm like, look, whatever you're going to do in your life, odds are I've done it too. But like when I was a kid, my parents never told me what they did as teens. And you have to remember, when your kids like fuck up as a teenager, like you were a teen too. You know what I mean? Like if my daughter, I'm not saying she would, but if she sneaks out of the house in the middle of the night, I did that. So why am I going to crucify her for something that I know I did? So it's not like I would be like, it's okay, sneak out. Like I wouldn't do that, but I would be like, well, why did I sneak out? What happened? What was I upset with? Why did I do this? So I would talk to her. My kids have never snuck out, but that's an example. And so I have to, when I parent them, I remember, wait, I was 15 before. I was 13. I was talking to these boys. Like, and so I remember what I did as a kid and try not to completely rip them apart and act like that they're horrible people and that they're the only people in the world that's ever done that, because I've done half the stuff that they're going to do in their life. That's just the way that I parent my kids, because my kids are amazing and I love them and they're good children and yeah, they're wonderful. But yeah, my daughter was talking about the time that we slid down the stairs on mattresses on Kelmore. And Mike even did that. It was fun. It was so much fun. But yeah, I find that millennials parent kids differently. And I'm finding that most of my millennial friends that have kids parent exactly the way that I parent. I just think it's a millennial thing, honestly. I have a lot of cool childhood stories. I just don't tell them much because it's like my kids' childhood, but they have some funny stories about things that we did with them when they were kids. So anyway, yes, these are my tumblers. I gotta clean them and package them. They turned out good. Hold on. Oh yeah, that one's glued to the thing. Mike gets mad because sometimes I accidentally epoxy these bars to the machine and then Mike has to pry them apart. But this is a new one. I took a picture of my graphics YouTube channel that before I blood drip these. I was so scared, you guys, because I'm like, every time I go to blood drip cups, I get so scared that I'm not going to do it or it's not going to look good. And so I was like, oh, this looks perfect. These blood drips look like my blood drips. I made this one about a year ago. And so, hold on. The drips, like I said, no two drips are going to look alike, but it looks good. I'm so excited. Usually right after Halloween, this cup in the month of November gets so crazy viral. So I'm pushing them out there on Facebook, on the TikTokies, on all the things to advertise this tumbler. So yeah, it's starting to look great. And last one I'll show you is the 30-ounce skinny. This is what a skinny tumbler. When I say curvy and skinny, the curvy is kind of it's like fat right here. A skinny is just one long straight. So this is a 20-ounce curvy, and this is a 30-ounce skinny. See the difference in the size? So yeah. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for my customers to get these tumblers. I'm going to clean them, wipe them down, package them. The cool thing the other day when Mike was packaging, well, like when we were mailing out a batch of tumblers that I'd gotten orders from a couple weeks ago, I had it sitting here and I was printing. We have, hold on, I'll show you. I'll have to pull the wires out. But this is a label maker and it's got the sticky labels. And so I was going to Shopify's website. We print care instructions and invoices. So in your tumbler box, you'll get an invoice showing what you ordered. My son. What you ordered. You'll get care instructions to teach you you don't put it in the dishwasher. It's clearly not microwave safe because it's metal, but you have to put those disclaimers there for legal purposes. Like, how hot coffee at McDonald's will say caution hot. So you don't put it in the microwave. Don't put it in the dishwasher because the heat of the dishwasher will melt the epoxy and you'll ruin your cup. I also, these are things because I want people to care for their tumblers and I don't want their tumbler to get ruined because these tumblers are expensive because it takes me a really long time to make it and the amount of products that it takes. Like the metal tumbler alone is like $9 to buy. That's if you just want a plain metal tumbler, and then all the stuff I'm adding to it and the amount of days that it takes. And yes, I do factor in that I'm allergic to it. So I always take a risk every time I make a tumbler. So you factor in a little bit of that. But the tumbler still is a very low price. I do my best. I don't want it to go past $50, $55 because I know that people can't afford that. And I can't afford a tumbler like that. We try to keep our prices really low, especially in this day and age when tumbler prices have rose because epoxy is more expensive. Glitter prices are out the roof. I know people like your overhead cost is too much. The thing is, I don't want Temu glitter. I'm sorry. Temu glitter is probably great, but I have high quality glitter on my tumblers. That's the way I like it. Like that's kind of, you're paying for quality. So yes, I could get Temu glitter. I could get metal tumblers from Temu. I could go to dollar store and get paint, but I like having good quality products because I know they'll last long. I'm not making fun of Temu, but I don't know if Temu glitter is going to last as long on a tumbler. I don't know if cheaper epoxy is going to start yellowing on my tumbler. Like it's just, I like having high quality products. So if you want a high quality tumbler, you might have to pay a little bit of higher prices. But yeah, you could go to the next tumbler maker who buys things cheaper. I'm not downing that, but you get what you pay for, unfortunately. And I've looked, trust me, I've been making tumblers since 2018, and I follow so many tumbler makers, and there's a tumbler making community. I'm not really a part of the YouTube tumbler making community yet because I never got that far on YouTube with my tumblers. But yeah, some tumblers are like $80, like some of the personalized $75, $80. So I'm not arguing with my prices. I stand firmly on my prices. Mike has done a lot of overhead cost, and these turners have to run sometimes for 3 straight days. So that's electricity. You have to factor in electricity, you have to factor in your time. Like you have to factor in a lot when you're making tumblers. So if you're a crafter, never ever undercut yourself and never underestimate your worth, because you're going to have customers that will. I haven't had any of them this year, but I've had little ones along the way say $50. Fuck that. Okay, then don't pay it. No one's asking you to pay for it. But there are people, tons of people, that will pay $50 for that tumbler, but you don't have to. But this is just a PSA for any crafter. Don't undercut yourself. Know your worth. Really factor in how long do your turners turn. Like if you have any machinery that makes your cups, think about the electricity costs. Think about, your time. How many days does it take you to make it? How many hours away from your family? Sometimes Mike is off of work and I'm down here for all day on his day off. I don't get to spend time with him anymore because I'm down here making these. Just factor all of that in. The materials, and you want to make sure you're like you have a profit. You don't want to just break even. That's useless. Make sure you're really paying yourself generously for your time and effort that it takes to make it. So as a small business owner, that is the advice. That's my advice today. Maybe I should do a series on my channel, my graphics channel, of like advice as a small business creator, a small business creator, a small business owner, content creator. So I've had a lot of people, a lot of friends that I grew up with message me over the years saying, can you teach me how to have a small business? They saw my Tumblr blow up and make, $20,000 that one month. And they're like, oh my God, I need to figure out how Shelly's doing this. And so I've helped a lot of people launch their small businesses over the years because of the way that my cup went viral. I didn't really do nothing. I posted it in a Facebook group and I think I got like 80,000 shares. It just ended up blowing up on a craft group one day, and the rest is history with it. So yeah, anyway, I had gotten lost. So we have this label printer, and I was printing out the label, and I was doing the care instructions, the invoice, and then I also give you a thank you note. Like, thank you so much for supporting my small business. You've helped my family. It's a cute little note. And so I'm printing those off. And then my kids, my wonderful, amazing kids, took it upon themselves to go down here, get more at my mom's, but Mike only grabbed me one pack. My poor mom has got like 5 packs of 30 of these boxes and a gigantic thing of bubbles like this big that we buy it from Staples. But my kids grabbed one of these boxes and then they started like, unfolding them. They started assembling the box, and my daughter's getting the bubbles out, and they're grabbing the tumbler. And I always, as a free gift, if I have extra epoxy, I will pour coasters. These are coasters, and I try to make coasters that match your tumbler. So you would sit your cup, you'd put this on your table and you sit your cup on it, and it matches the glitter from this tumbler. It's got both glitter. It's got the white glitter and it's got the chunky glitter. And, sometimes we'll just make new ones. So I made a Gilmore Girl tumbler one time that has this color. So Mike made this coaster the other night when he epoxied the tumblers for me. Because when he's off of work, he doesn't mind helping me occasionally. But he made this coaster. And I was experimenting with blue alcohol ink. So as a free gift, I always give my customers this. I don't even advertise it. It's a surprise in your box. And what I do is I keep them in here. This is the Teflon for the heat press. But we've got glow in the dark shot glasses. I've got many different color shot glasses. Purple. I was doing some type of marbly thing. Multicolor. We have so many coasters. We've got this little coaster. We've got big coasters. Even like a ghost face thing. My son made this one. He's never used epoxy before, and it was like ruby red glitter coaster. A blood spattery one. So all different kinds, right? So my one son went in here and he picked some coasters or for the customers. All right, I'm sitting there, and they're making the boxes. They're getting the bubbles. They're like, "Where's the tumbler?" I wash them every time I make them. Once they're done, I go into the kitchen with hot water, Dawn dish soap, and gloves, and I hand wash and dry their tumblers so that they're disinfected before I package them. But one of my care instructions, I always tell people, wash them. Don't just take it out of the box and use it. I wouldn't do that. Go wash it. Go wash it yourself before you use it. That's why I tell people before. I used to work in retail. I'm telling you right now, I've seen so many like little kids stick their fingers up their nose and touch stuff off on the shelves. And we're not disinfecting that at night for customers. It stays there. Merchandise pickup and MCAs, we would cut open with box cutter the boxes for the products, so we would put stuff out on the shelves at night, or early in the morning when there's not a lot of customers out, we would replenish the floor. We're not told to wear gloves. I touch my face, my nose, my hair, and I'm putting stuff on the shelf, and you got customers all day that are grabbing things off the shelf, looking at it, putting it back. So I'm telling you, you're going to want to wash your cups and your silverware and things that are not in a package. You're going to want to wash it before, like you buy your Stanley cups that are just sitting there. Many people probably grab that Stanley cup, touched the lid, and looked at. So you want to wash it. So I tell my customers, wash it before you use it. So I washed and dried it, and then my kids are like grabbing things, and I have tissue paper, and we have all this step process. You roll the tumbler in the tissue paper, you then roll it in the bubbles so that they don't break, because epoxy is like glass. You drop it, it'll crack. So rolling it, and then I do bubbles, and I line the box with the bubbles, and I set the tumbler down, and then I put another sheet of bubbles on top of that. We take the care instructions, the note, the invoice, we fold it in half, slide it on the side of the box. We wrap up the little coaster and put that on the side of the box. And then we tape the box up and put the shipping label on it, And so I'm printing out stuff, and then I turn around and my kids are already assembling boxes like they knew how to do it. It was so cool because they'd seen Mike and I package and do hundreds of these tumblers that they're like, "Can we do?" And I looked around and said, "Oh, you guys have to do that." They're like, "We want to do it, and can you let us know the next time you package cups, because we all want to sit here and do it." So one kid was assembling the boxes, another kid was getting the tissue paper, another kid was getting the bubbles, and one kid would grab the free gift, and And so my kids are packaging now, and it's not slave labor. I didn't ask them. They want to do it. It's fun. It's a family company. And so when I start getting money in for my tumblers, I'm going to start giving them a couple bucks, like kind of like an allowance to help me with packaging my tumblers and stuff. But I thought it was really cute. Like they didn't work with the toxic chemicals because there's going to be negative Nancy. Shelly's making her kids work with toxic chemicals instead of homeschooling. That's why she keeps them home so that they can make her cups. That's just like it's just crazy how people are like they sit there and I feel like this is the face. I feel like people that don't like me and when they watch my videos they go the whole time and they give me stink eye. Like it's like then don't watch if watching me enrages you so much, don't watch me. Just don't watch me. Come on, you're too old for this. Stop watching me then. But they can't. They can't. They get so nosy. So let them watch is all I say. But I told Mike that one day. I was just like, they're probably like the whole time they're watching me. So yeah, but my kids packaged the tumblers and they loved it and it was fun and they enjoyed it and um I can't wait to get to packaging these. That's what I'm going to do is package them. I weighed myself yesterday. I was 289.6 ounces. Now today I'm 289 even. I figured that was going to happen because I forgot to weigh myself yesterday and I had already drank a whole cup of coffee. I had some breakfast and then I went upstairs like 4 or 5 hours after I woke up and weighed myself. So and then I went to bed and then woke up and I'm 289 even, which is great. I'm appreciative and I love that. So I've lost weight. I'm exercising. I'm eating healthier. I'm still eating cabbage soup and lots of vegetables. And I'm trying not to eat a lot of portions of things. I did eat breadsticks yesterday. I never ever do, and it's been over 2 months since I ate them. But I wanted to treat myself to some breadsticks, and I did. And now today I'm going to walk extra just to make sure like Mike always says, "Oh goodness, you finally had more calories than you've had in like 4 months now." Like, God forbid you eat one box of breadsticks. I was like, I know, but I was like punishing myself over it. I was like, I can't believe I gave in and I caved in and I ate them. And Mike's like, "You're not gonna die. It's fine." And here I am. I woke up 6 ounces lighter than I was yesterday. I thought I was gonna wake up 2 pounds heavier today for the one box of breadsticks. But my one of my subscribers, Chris, said it's okay to have a cheat day. It's not her fault, but I was like, cheat day. Chris said I could do it. Chris, you told me I could do it. It's okay. Okay. But yeah, I'm just gonna walk a little extra today. Just walk a little bit more. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm exercising. I'm losing weight. My small business is continuing to thrive. My kids are very involved and wanting to help me with that. Like I said, my homelessness for Christmas review is on members only. Later today, I'm gonna try to when I'm done on my housework, my cleaning, cooking, laundry. I'm gonna try to film part 2. This is just to protect my family. I don't want my kids to see some of the crap on there again. I don't want my subscribers. I have a feeling of like people would unsubscribe. Like no one cares to see this again. I'm doing it as a spiritual thing and to just review things in the homelessness for Christmas video, the part 1, I do point out things that I've done wrong, and I thought I shouldn't have added that, or let me elaborate on my daughter having to hug me. Like, and I explain this full story and the actual story around it and why that happened, and that's kind of what I'm doing in the video. I'm pausing when I say something. I then will for 5 or 10 minutes elaborate further because I didn't have a script, so I just started rambling because I was in a manic mode. And so I sit there and I talk step by step of what I'm bringing up and why. And I just don't want it on my channel. And it's not a cash grab. You don't have to pay to watch it. But I'm going to record part 2 later today. So if you would like to sign up for my members, I'll put a comment in this video to join. It's $1.99. This video, I'm deciding you'll obviously know when you watch it, but I might do this a premiere and give out 10 free memberships. So then 10 people can see the homelessness for Christmas video if they want to see it. But yeah, I'm going to go. I hope everyone's had a wonderful day. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I will do my best to continue to vlog as much as I can. That homelessness for Christmas part 1 video really exhausted me and took me out. And I haven't even got to the worst things that Popcorn said. So I don't even know how I'm going to react to that. Again, that's why it's on members only, just so I don't feel like hundreds of people have access to seeing me watching it. because I don't know if I'm going to cry. I don't know if I'm going to rage. I don't know. I'm hoping that I react okay. But I think I'm still bitter about it because she took my mom away. Popcorn decided that it was okay to take my mom away from me, and I will forever hate her for that. And I think that's why I have anger towards her. But I'm getting better, and one day me and my mom will be able to move out and have our own house with Mike and the kids. We'll all be able to live together. It's just I don't get to see her much. I haven't been to her house since the day I moved out. Mike is not available to take me. Every time I ask him, he's busy with other things, and I completely understand. He's tired, he's exhausted. The last thing he wants to do is take me over there because he works 80 billion hours a week. And it's hard with our schedule. It's hard with my mom's schedule because she's only off one day a week that Mike is off. So the days that Mike wants to take me there, she's at work, you know? And Thursdays is a very hard day for Mike because it's his last day off of work and it's the day that my daughter does soccer. And it just, he then, he's taking her to soccer. And then, so it just, then that's the most important thing. So I know like people like, why can't you get over there? Like, how am I going to get over there, Kanto? I don't drive. She doesn't drive. We can't afford a cab. That's more expensive. I don't even know the bus routes. So I'll get lost somewhere in Baltimore City if I try to get on the bus. For me, the kids, Brady, like what's the point? So, I live in a different type of lifestyle than a lot of people. I think 99% of people that complain about me probably have a driver's license. And again, I'm working on it. Driver's license is, I need money. My family needs money. My Tumblr business and medical billing and coding is what I'm working on first. And then a license will come. I had someone go after me in a comment section saying that she was a subscriber and she didn't even say she was a subscriber of mine. She's been watching, or they've been watching this all go down, and that basically everyone that's still on YouTube sucks. That the people that left, like Popcorn, Jugs, these people are better. So I was like, okay, I'm not giving your opinion like any thought. I'm sorry, because clearly you're somebody who likes them. You're not coming over on my channel and giving me 10,000 ultimatums and, well, why don't you go to the church? Why don't you go to this? Why don't you do, you know what? Why don't you shut up? So I was trying to be so kind. I'm like, you know what? No, goodbye. I blocked. I'm sorry. I know people like, she wants an echo chamber. She only wants people that like her. Well, sorry. Is that a bad thing? I'm sorry that I don't like to have people say shitty things to me. That messes my day up, that I don't like waking up to shit comments on my channel. So yes, as a content creator, I can block you. And if you get mad that I silenced you, go make your own channel and cry about it. I don't know what else to tell you guys. I only want people that are nice to me on my channel. Some people hate me and they watch me, but they don't comment. That's fine. Just don't give me shit. You want to be shitty to me, go over yonder and join the I Hate Shelly Abbott support group. Go over there, go join that. I will bake you muffins and I'll bring the box of coffee. I'll bring the Dunkin' Donut Joe coffee. Are they still called a box of Joe? I don't know. I will bring the donuts and I will even make you guys tumblers with my small pool and my shingles on my face, and that'll be my gift to you guys for the Shelly Abbott, I Hate Shelly Abbott support group. I just don't, why come over here? You're going to get blocked. Once you start pushing back on some of my life choices, you're just going to get blocked. Go over there and cry about it. That's all I'm going to say. If somebody came over in my comment section, and I don't like to talk about subscribers. I think there's like this unspoken rule that subscribers are allowed to do what they want, be really shitty, and content creators aren't allowed to call them out because they're a content creator. So I'm not like calling them out, like showing you their name or anything. It's just they're blocked. I have my theories on who it is because the way they spoke, that's a weird hill to die on. Not many people around here say stuff like that. So I have my suspicions. So I just realized, nope, goodbye, bye-bye. Make your own channel. So weird hill to die on to come back and say that you're gone, but you're really not. So that's just my opinion. So they were very defensive, and they really really supported the women that have left and said they're the only ones on YouTube that's changed. Everyone else is they suck. Everyone else is just still harping on the same things. And I'm like, who would be mad that I'm harping on the homelessness for Christmas videos and the old videos? Who would be mad that I'm bringing up the past, but the person who started it in the first place, you know? So that's just my opinion for somebody very close that is besties with that person. So, PSA, if you're going to be a butthole and you comment some butthole things, I'm just going to block you. I have no mood to argue. I'm not nickeling dime in the conversation. I tried. Boy, did I try with that subscriber person, old content creator, whoever it is. I tried. But every time I'd give them a reason for something, they came back with 10 other things. And they're like, go to the park to take your kids to the playground. Yeah, because my 15-year-old really wants to hang out at a playground. Like, I was like, no. And they're like, well, go to a church. Churches have things fun to do. How? There's no churches within walking distance. Mike is at work every day of the week and all weekend. Most churches do things on weekends for kids. Some of my kids don't even want to be near churches. They don't want to go to a church. And I was going to make a joke and say, if my family steps near a church, we will probably be, smited. God will smite us because we walk toward the church. We're probably going to be lit on fire because we're the Antichrist family, Like I said, I used to be big into the churches and singing the gospels music and Unsearchable Riches and the rock bands. And I used to do that. We used to attend a thing called CIY, which is Christ in Youth. You would go to a different state, like Pennsylvania or something. Me and my cousin would get a hotel and we would go to church. Like it was like this youth group, and they would have music and food and merch you could buy, and like speakers, like Jesus speakers. I don't know what you say. Like I said, I grew up going to church with Graham. My mom never forced us to have a religion. My brother chose to be baptized because we got very close with a cousin of ours, Dane and Katie, and they were very big into the church world. And so Dane would hang out with Jordan and I would hang out with my cousin Katie, and we would go to church because of them. And so my mom let us do that. It's not like she said yes or not. Like, you know what I mean? Like she said yes to it, but it's not like she forced us to do it and she didn't forbid us to do it. She just let us choose our own religion. So that's how I am with my kids. None of my kids are baptized. We've never been to church. They've never went to a church service. My daughter, talked about maybe watching church services on YouTube and online, but none of my other kids have expressed wanting to sit at a church. They would find it god awful boring, no pun intended, but like just boring. I'm sorry. My kids I'm not going to force them to go to a church. They don't want to go to a church. Mike, one time, I'm not hating on the church because sometimes the food pantry we go to is at a church. But one time Mike had like death metal music on and he wasn't thinking about it. And he said the lady asked if anybody wanted to be like, she wanted to pray with anyone. And my daughter said yes. My daughter, they, I guess, put the hands over the head and prayed with her. But Mike said later they left and Mike went upstairs in my room and he was telling me and he kind of laughed. He was like, I was wondering why she asked if anyone needed to be prayed. And he says, but then again, I realized that I had like, screamo goth metal music. And I said, Mike, you didn't turn that down when you pulled up? He's like, I didn't think about it, but I had this like, wah, like death metal music, and he has a skull. It looks like he has a plastic skull head that hangs from his like, mirror. And he's like, I got a plastic skull bopping around. And I was like, that's nice. No wonder they wanted to know if we wanted to be saved. Because Mike has like a head hanging from this thing. He's listening to death metal music. But yeah, Mike wasn't big into church. After I was like 14, 15, that church phase left. And yes, I get people should have, religion, and I have content creators who talk about religion and stuff like that. And look, I'm all for it. I'm all for my kids wanting to go to a church, but some of them don't. So what am I going to do? Leave those ones behind and only take the ones that want to go? So when I seen that subscriber I was like, you know what? No, goodbye. Have a great day. So this is a PSA. If you're gonna come over with, what do people say, fuck shit? I don't understand why they say that. If you're gonna come over with some fuck shit, then you're gonna get blocked. Sorry. This year I have no time for it. I've got no time to go. It's like, are you gonna go? And I'm gonna say, hi, hope you have a great day. And if they're gonna go, I'm gonna be like, block, goodbye. And that's what I'm gonna do. Like, I'm sorry. We got no time for it. But yes, my kids are allowed to have the religion they want to have a religion. If my daughter says that she wants to go to Sunday church service, I'm gonna have to figure something out, aren't I? Because Mike is at work on Sundays. I'll have to figure something out. Send her on a bus or something. I don't know. I'll figure something out. But right now, she doesn't want to. And I told her that there are church services on YouTube online. You can attend online church service because Graham used to do it. But Graham used to talk to my daughter about the Bible, and all of my kids have their own Bible. Graham bought them all Bibles, and if they want to read it, they can. And my daughter is the only one out of all 4 kids that's ever expressed any interest in God, Jesus, the gospel, or whatever. And I don't know nothing about it. I know John 3:16 because I was just seared into my brain as a kid. What is it? For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that he should ever believe me, something, and have everlasting love, something like that. I don't know, something about John 3:16. I don't know, but I've heard it over and over again as a kid. So I don't know nothing about the Jesuses. I would not be no good. I'd have to Google it. I've never read a Bible, so I don't know, but I've read passages. But as you see, as a kid, if you followed one of my last vlogs, I talked about the time that when we were doing the blood of the Christ and the body of the Christ, and I was eating peanut M&Ms, just crunching like it was nothing. Just, I know people are like, you're fucking ignorant, Shelly. No, I'm not. Okay? People follow me because I'm like this. Because I'm weird. I just embrace it. Anyway, I have to get off of here because I'm rambling. So yeah, if you're gonna be negative Nancy, goodbye. See you later, alligator. A wild crocodile wouldn't want to be. Don't got time for you. If you don't have nothing to say that's nice, then just don't comment. Watch me, judge me, don't comment, because then you're gonna get blocked. You're gonna lose your commenting privileges. Sometimes, last thing I'll say, I will block and unblock people because I'm like, is she gonna be an adult yet? Like, for real, are you ready to be an adult? So I will block them. I'm like, nope, you're still a toddler. Okay. So I block them. Then after a couple of weeks, I'm like, all right, you're out of punishment. Let me unblock you. And then they'll be like, ugh. It's like they know when they're unblocked. And so I'm like, nope, not yet. You're not going to grow up yet. Okay, block. And people get so mad at me. Someone made a whole community post. You know what it's like to be silenced? How about this? And I'm just like, what is this? She's a toddler. She is worse than when my kids were toddlers. No one likes her. Everyone hates her over here. So I just sit her. But I try to be so nice. And I unblock her. Shannon Moore, hello. I unblock her and I'm like, are you ready? Are you ready to be a grown up? Hopefully you've learned your lesson. No. And I'm like, nope, not ready. I'm a bitch. I'm sorry. But I try to be nice. I'm working on myself. I'm working on it. But you got people over there trying to be toddlers and shit. So I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I got stuff to do. If you made this far, you're amazing. I adore your face. Don't be a toddler. If you are, be the fun type of toddler. Don't be the asshole toddler. I'll see you in my next video. See you later, alligators.